Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Just no surprise here, but flounder. It's the springtime to go to fish for me, and it's gonna be kind of a redemption tour for me because I'll tell you, 3 years prior to last year, I didn't really go to Delaware last year, but 3 years straight, every year I lost a flounder that was potentially gonna be my doormat flounder or clearly over 20 inches. Every year I've always come up to 19, 19 and a half, but never was able to break that 20-inch mark. And this trip was going to be the trip that I try to redeem myself and get on to something that is over 20 inches. So it's going to be my typical setup. One downline, high-low minnows. I actually alternated between a rig that I made and also a floating rig I tried for the first time. I bought it from Lewes Harbor. Just gave it a shot just to get the minnows off the ground a little bit. And I'll just go ahead and just show you how they work, I guess. So here we go, and I'll commentate along the way. So this is actually me setting up for my first drift, and as I mentioned before, I like to have one downline with a high-low with minnows or any other live bait kind of drifting while I'm jigging with another rod. This is actually a high-low rig that I've made. I can show you the specifics on how I made it. I've actually gotten it from another YouTuber actually, so I'm actually liking it. Other than that, I would like to use the longer high-low rigs that are sold with a little bit more hardware, but I like the high-low rigs that they sell with the long mono main leader on it. But the jig rod here is on a 3/8 ounce jig head with 6-inch swimming mullet in the white color. In the springtime, I do tend to like to go with the larger profile because there's less of the smaller blues or other fish that would kind of tear the bait apart real quick. So later in the day, they did start coming in, so I did just switch down to a 5-inch. And then in the summertime, I'll typically go with the 4-inch. So here you'll notice that I felt weight and it kind of tugged, and I set the hook immediately. Usually, you'd like to give it at least 3 or 4 seconds or so, but it was my first bite of the day. Got a little anxious and gave it a set the hook a little soon. Um, I do tend to set the hook a little bit faster when they are tugging that hard, but I should have given it another second or two before I set the hook there. So now here you do see me waiting a little bit longer, but another mistake that I made there is that I brought the flounder to the surface and had his head sticking out of the water. You'll see that mistake haunt me a few times today during this day here. Yeah, so whenever you start jigging, you feel a little bit of weight. A lot of times it'll be you stuck on some stuff, but also when these two flounders do bite, usually they'll come chase up behind it, bite it, and just lay flat. So you want to give it a second, and as soon as you feel a few head shakes there, um, that's when you go ahead and set the hook. And that's what I did here. And this here is a nice one. And right here, you'll see hear me give a sigh of relief. Um, it was a long time waiting here for this one.
Finally got my 20-incher, guys. Finally did it. Tell you that one was probably 4 years in the making. Lost a couple of that size. Finally made it happen. 20 and a half. No skunk. PB. It's a good day.
So the high-low rig you see here is actually that floating rig that I mentioned in the intro. It's something that I bought from Lewes Harbor. To be honest, I personally was not too fond of this rig. You see me trying to untangle this, and I will do this very often throughout the day. It's just the way they have the hooks looped on. It's just pretty much a loop to loop hookup for the hooks, and it moved too freely, so it got very easily tangled. So typically you'd want the lines vertical with jigging, but here I actually cast it out because the current was actually slowing down quite a bit. So I was actually casting and jigging towards me, and this one actually bit on the fall here. Now another thing is that with the 3/8 ounce and the 6 inch grub swimming mullet, it was actually a slower fall. So I did opt to go with a high-low jig head. I believe the top one was an 8th ounce and the bottom was, I'm sorry, the bottom was an 8th ounce and the top was a 16 ounce jig head, chartreuse, and it allowed it to fall a little bit faster with the thinner profile and the added weight. It is actually 5 inch swim mullets on both the bottom and the top, white again, as what I typically use. You actually almost see me lose this one again. Same mistake here. I'm rushing the fish to the boat. Honestly, I probably need a longer net. That's what I'm starting to feel like. I was trying to pull the fish to the net, and you see it, the hook come out just as it's falling into the net. I'll actually post the links for these components in the links below or in the comment section below. But yeah, you see the wire hang coming off my GoPro camera here. I'm actually trying out for the first time a solar panel battery pack. It actually lasted all day long. Plus, it had plenty of juice left, to be honest, probably for another trip. So it was actually something that I really liked, and probably be using more often uh, in the tournament setting as well as my fishing videos here. I did not have to change the battery once. I just left it plugged in, and it was good all day long. And then the second item here is actually this diving, I guess, stringer here that I'm using. It's actually many probably have seen it before. I've never seen it with this cable here that you see me clipping right there. I really like this feature, especially on the kayak, because it allows me to hook it up and it's not stretching out too far, and I don't have to mess with any rope or anything trying to tie it or shorten out the leader. It allows me to easily access the stringer at any time. Again, same mistake here. Rushing it to the boat. I should have swam around a little bit longer. Probably would have been be able to catch this fish, but was forcing it to the net and popped off with the head sticking out of the water there. So same mistake on practically all the fish that I caught today. A longer net and a little bit more patience.